No surprise.
Charlie Kirk does an incredible job with Turning Point. Yes. Great human being. Great American.
Former NASCAR and Indy Car driver Danica Patrick has made an announcement.
I'm not going to lie. Red is my favorite color. I don't wear it because I'm Republican. I wear it because it is my favorite color. It just works well. So the photos definitely had a color theme. And I posted these photos and I said, I love America. Let's make America great again.
It shouldn't come as a shock. It actually tracks.
In the 60s, there was this idea, and it was probably the consequence of the birth control pill, that, well, maybe sex is free, right? It's free and easy. Because, well, now pregnancy wasn't necessarily a consequence, and venereal disease was reasonably well under control, and so wasn't a blatant threat, certainly not a fatal one. And so people thought, well, why not free love? Well, I think the reason for that is it's complete rubbish. There's no free sex. It's too dangerous. And so what's happened is that...
From an emotional standpoint? Are you speaking about from an emotional standpoint or physically?
Physically and socially. Well, think of consent. Okay, when can you give consent? Well,
you're saying
the
what
answer is we don't know. No,
or
under
like
what conditions? Well, what constitutes consent? Exactly.
Because if one were to just look at her guest list.
Yeah.
Like, I don't spend my time thinking about people's private lives. I just don't. Like, it doesn't really concern me.
Yeah.
But it's not live and let live. It's now live and let us rule. Where, like, I have to use your pronouns.
Yeah.
And, like, my daughter one day has to go to a school and have some freak dance in front of her.
Right, exactly.
Like, that's not live and let live anymore.
Yeah.
That's, like, a violation of the social compact that we had. Like, the whole idea of, like, the modern movement around, you know, what they would say is gay rights is, like, just give us these rights and everything's gonna be fine. And it's like, turns out, well, it's like a lot deeper and bigger than that. And it didn't stop there. It's now has like continued into this mass campaign to go after children and to normalize behavior, go after pronouns, criminalize speech, where you can get in more trouble in this country for vandalizing a pride flag than the American flag. It's considered a hate speech or a hate symbol.
Oh my God.
So I'm happy to go as deep into that as you want.
Yeah, as deep in any of this. I think it's all fascinating. No, it's good.
I talk for a living. So,
I love it. No, it's fantastic. As you talk, I think about 7 different things that I want to ask you about.
And how she not only gravitates towards these people.
It is my true honor to sit here with Robert F. Kennedy Jr. Thank you so much. Should I call you Bobby?
Yeah.
Okay. All right. Well, welcome, Bobby. You know, when I pay attention to the words spoken in politics, when I listen to him, I just manage to keep on listening. And that when you speak, it really feels like you're speaking from the heart, from experience, from seeing it, from living it, and really believing it. And I just think that that's something rare in politics. And I don't know if you all feel the same, but I believe that deserves a hand.
But flat out endorses them.
Mostly from what I've channeled and remote viewed, it is a group of individuals who are fighting to contain the information, fighting to contain the awakening, fighting to suppress the people, fighting to create more fear because they just want control. They don't care about money. Money is something that they've created, right, to control us. And our population is at a certain point where we're uncontrollable. The majority of this group of individuals is reptilian. But I do want to say that not all reptilians are bad, right? We do have good reptilians, just like we have good and bad humans. And they believe that, you know, this planet is rightfully theirs because they're the ones who were here long before humans were. It's prophesized that human beings, right, this hybrid species that we are meant to be here. And the reptilians are free to be here as well, as long as they're okay with the shifting of the energies. And they're not okay with that. There's going to be an increasing number of like strange events happening because all that has been hidden will be revealed. Like,
and
this is the great
famous
reveal.
People that will be
shape-shifting, or they all of a sudden just choose to step out of the limelight altogether, or they have a sudden accident or passing or whatnot.
Like Elizabeth April, who you just heard from.
How does that come to someone to sell their soul? Like, I feel like this is something you see a lot more in entertainment and music, and you look at these possible satanic rituals, which they sure look pretty satanic, that are happening during Super Bowl or music awards shows, and you see what's going on. It's like there's definitely an awareness to this dynamic.
I believe in the next 3 years, hopefully sooner, 3 to 4 years, we're going to see the whole world is going to understand on how deeply everything about our reality is actually programmed, literally programmed at the highest level. And, all you have to do is look at who is on the guest list of, on the flight list to Epstein Island, and you just start to realize like there is nothing sacred.
Interesting part there. Guess Danica didn't get the memo.
Knowing how I like things as a viewer is to not like question, answer. It's like robotic. It's not interesting to me. There's always a question within your answer. And that's the hard thing. That's the thing that makes a great conversation, is when you sort of surrender the question list and you just listen and you go, oh, I don't understand that. Tell me more. Yeah. I think the person that I feel like is one of the best at it is Tucker Carlson. Oh, so good. He's just the best at it.
No shocker there and here.
It's not, there's so many members of Congress who are Democrats who love our country. When I was running for president, I had some of my Democrat colleagues at the time would come up to me on the House floor and say, like, whisper in my ear in the corner of the room where there were no cameras and no one could see, saying like, oh my gosh, I love everything you're saying. Please keep it up, but don't tell anyone I said that. There's so much fear of those who challenge what has become the agenda of the Democratic Party, which is like this radical, woke, I don't know. It's hard to sum it up in just a few words.
She would title one podcast, I kid you not, The Lie of Climate Change. You get the point.
You dating Aaron Rodgers at one point in your life really makes all the sense in the world. By the way, she's free to believe all of this insanity. I am certain that if you threw a rock, you'd hit somebody in an F1 paddock or any other professional environment who would just be nodding along with this.
Yeah, well, if I threw a rock off my balcony, I would hit someone who, I live in Florida, Spencer. I mean, she's not alone.
Yeah, somebody who would go, the lizard people. Yeah, I heard about them on Facebook. So when you see Danica having her thoughts on F1, just notice if you go, that take seems a little out there, you'd be like, I have an entire cornucopia of interesting takes for you. It's called her YouTube channel.
Oh, and by the way, at that campaign event where Danica made those opening statements, she would go on to say, I think our country should be run by someone that knows business and has integrity. Oh, okay. I believe we should be able to speak freely, of course. I love this country and I have lived in other places. I believe when people of different opinions speak face to face, we realize we are more similar than different. All of those are spot on except for the opening line. A man with integrity. I have never come across someone who has less. But look, the reason we play those is just very simple. It's because they are the party of conspiracy theorists. They are the party of believing the untrue. And that is the tent that they have decided to have. And it's fine. It's totally fine. But to say those things and have that be the opening line is a farce. And it's also incredibly disappointing. But seeing where she lines up on the political spectrum, the guests that she agrees with, who she applauds, really not that surprising.